Oh, my potter's journal. Okay, if you've been following along on my discovery of my Slovenian heritage pots. Okay, the throwing of it, rather complex form on a potter's wheel, and the altering. We saw the first simple ones glazed. Each step, okay, along the way, new level of anxiety. The decorating especially. I can't do this. This is well beyond my skill level. But don't say that until you've tried. I mean, look, I did it, okay? These are just out of the bisque. They still need to be glazed. Big bucket of glaze off to mix up to do this. I will walk you back to yesterday, June 27th. Show some of the more simpler and then a little more complex on the slip trailing. Let's see what's going on in the studio today. After studying pottery from so many different cultures, this one actually is my own. Now the question is, these are all for a Slovenian fest called Slovene Fest, halfway between here and Cleveland, since that's where most of the population lives. Will I be the only one with any interest in this, or will I sell some of them? Okay, this is the wrong brush. The most typical decoration, this is a black slip, had it up here on the lip, and on the bottom, and up here on the lip, which is not a typical way I would decorate them. I'm going to do most of these differently, but on this one, I'm going to try it. Okay. The way it seems most typically done. And now, can I do the squiggle? And it's much smaller than I'm used to doing. I'm used to doing it much larger. But that is the way it seemed to me done mostly. Okay, we'll try to do a line too. Oh, okay, now I can breathe. That is it. That is what I saw in the old pieces. Not exactly, not perfect, but, and my wave is more, consistent, but the fact that it's narrower and tighter over there, oh wow. I'm really pleased with this one. Okay, I don't know how much you can do and when you can overdo it, but they did seem to have quite a bit on them. I'm going to put a dot here too. Then we come to the floral, and there's a lot of the petal floral, which is just as simple. If you've never used one of these things, this is a starting point, as making these little dots. And there is room for about 5 of these petal flowers around here. So I just took my finger and went like that, that, and that, and I can see the impression and where they should be. And this could either be dotted on fairly harsh, or taking the end of it and swirling it around and making it wider, which is what I think I want to do in the center. Now this is, I don't know how many sizes I've done now. This is maybe number 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 3 or 4. I am getting carried away decorating the small ones. I think if I would continue to make this many sizes, that I would keep the small ones fairly simple, maybe just plain glazed. And then as I work up, add another element to the decorating. And the reason well, I don't know that I left the center one larger, but the reason to leave the center one larger is to put a dot. There we go. A dot in the dot. The petals on the flower, these are not equally spaced around here. And on bigger ones, I would put a spray of leaves both ways. But on the smaller ones, I think there's only room for one spray of leaves. So, since there's a bigger space here and a smaller space here, we'll make sure that we put a larger, leaf coming out. And the first time I did this, if you've been watching, I think I had the slip a little bit too wet on the white. And right now, these could be the best I ever make because we so appreciate the folk art pieces put together by somebody who may not have a lot of skill, but who just isn't afraid to go ahead and do it. If I get too good at this, that could all work out of it. Okay, let's see now if we can put the dot inside the dot. Well, I'll let this stiffen up again a bit and maybe try that again. And let's see, maybe we'll put some berries in brown or black on the leaf. There was a lot of these little dots in the Slovenian pieces. Okay, and I think too, I won't make you sit through this, we will put, and here's where on the small ones I may just want to put one dot here, and then as we work up to 3 and this largest one I may put 5. I guess as a slip trailer the dots is a good place to start. And there certainly are a lot of them, it seems, in the Slovenian pots. The dots are nice, the dots are easy, the dots are fun. But now the tulips. Now the tulips. Okay, when I was putting these on the slipware plates, and generally, one wrong move, and you've lost the piece. But in this case, in this spot, I'm okay. So now the tulips, if you sensed an energy in the kiln opening video, you should sense nothing but anxiety in the tulips. But I want to bring them into it. It's more complicated than the dots because they are so prevalent in Pennsylvania slipware. So much seen in English slipware. Okay, both coming from the German pottery. And as I'm seeing now, okay, also, here's the leaves. This is not the way they grow. These are stylized leaves. I may never do them like this again. Okay, and it's hard to get this angle in. It's coming in at a different angle, so it's having a different character coming from the other side. So maybe I can somehow do this from another side. I've seen it also now in the Romanian pottery, in pottery from Ukraine, pottery from Bulgaria. So, and probably all points in between. So this is a tulip that I said was mine in a video a few pieces back. So now I'm bringing it to the Slovenian pottery poticnik. I said they all the Slovenian potters seem to have their own style. And here it became a snowflake. Maybe I don't like them as 6 points. Oh, well, it is an Alps country. Okay. In the 1951 Slovenian cookbooks, the Glory of the Kitchen, Woman's Cookbook something by the Slovenian Women's Union, there were over a dozen recipes for the potica. And one of them was the Pittsburgh potica. So it was a book from, printed here. Okay, in between the tulips, we will get back to that dot thing. And I can breathe again. So we have the Pittsburgh potica, and these are the Pittsburgh petunias, tulips. And so that's been going okay. Now can we do the one up here? And if the wheel suddenly starts spinning faster because it's an old wheel and has... I have to move my hand faster. Okay, now you want to start the decorating down and work up and out, otherwise you'll smear it. I still want to do the dots here, but I will do that after these stiffen up a bit. Oh, I can breathe! So some of the old cookbooks have a dozen or more recipes for the potica in the Slovenian cookbooks. The walnut being the most popular, the poppy seed second. I think the apricot and the cherry are modern inventions that are more common coming from grocery stores. Okay, where's the needle? We're going to have to... I don't know if I can get in here. Okay, good. The old cookbooks also have tarragon potica and chive. So that is something I've known nobody to do. I think that was from a time when, okay, a different age, when there might not have been anything to eat or put in it in the spring except except the first thing growing and coming out of the ground, meaning and being the chives. Okay, so we'll put the black dot on the inside. And I have the chives in the garden right now. So I could be the first one ever to do that, since the books were printed in the 40s and people only remembered making it since from maybe 1800 something. Most of the population, immigrants, came here between around 1900 from and Pittsburgh and Cleveland and Chicago being the places where most people settled. So even back then, when those books were printed, the tarragon and the chive might have only been a distant memory.
Oh my goodness! What is all of this?
Well, this is a whole tray of different Slovenian breads baked in a traditional Slovenian ceramic
By an actual
poticnik.
Slovenian?
By an actual Slovenian, you've got it. 1/4.
Wow.
Okay. Wow, let me see. Oh, you can see the rolls. Isn't that beautiful?
Today, which I thought was pretty reasonable. Some wildfires in Alberta.
Yeah, well, I mean, I heard that.
Okay, and the word potica is for rolled in, rolled or stuffed or baked, and there it is. And from the simple to the more complex, I am so sorry I didn't show you this, but this would have taken forever because you can see there, I've got the dot inside the dot inside the dot. You really don't know what you could do until you try, but now the pressure is on. There's still more I want to do before the show. Several pots, different forms that I've actually made but haven't done the decorating on. Okay, the anxiety thing. Stop back and see what happens in the studio next week.